Does your OCD make you review all the bad things you've done your whole life? We're going to talk all about it. Stay tuned. That's what's up next. Hi, my name is Natasha Daniels. I'm a therapist. I make videos for people with anxiety or OCD. And today I want to talk to you about a very common OCD thought and an OCD theme. And that is the thought that I might be a bad person. Maybe I've done bad things. Maybe I will do bad things. Or let me review all the bad things I've already done. Is that you? We're going to talk all about it. We're going to talk about what that theme is, how it shows up, and most importantly, what to do about it. But before I get started, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified because I do make new videos every Thursday. You can also check out my online school where I offer you courses that go much more in depth in providing you skills systematically to crush anxiety or OCD, different courses for different things. You can check that out at atparentingsurvivalschool.com. So let's talk about this. When you have themes that are around whether you're a good person or whether you're going to be a bad person or whether you are a bad person, a lot of times we use a shorthand. We call it moral OCD themes or scrupulosity OCD themes because it's about how moral you are, how good or bad you are. And a lot of times, OCD will make you review all the things that you've ever done that could be perceived as bad. Is that you? Are you struggling with that? That can be really exhausting because we're human and we all make mistakes. There's not a person on this planet who hasn't made mistakes, who hasn't done something that was wrong or something that they wish they had done better or something that they wish they hadn't done. You're not alone because you're a human. And we have all done things that we wish we had not done. And we all make mistakes. But OCD doesn't really care about that. OCD doesn't care that you're human. And so if you have that OCD theme, and remember, if you haven't been watching my videos, OCD can show up in a million different ways. But it starts with an intrusive thought or feeling, I'm a bad person, right? Or something completely different. And the need to do or avoid something to get that brief relief. We're going to talk about what the compulsions are for this thing. But the first thing that it starts off with is a whisper of, do you remember when you did that thing? And it could be like, do you remember when you did that thing in second grade? Or do you remember when you talked about that person? Or do you remember when you cheated on this? Or do you remember when you stole that? And it might not be even anything big. It might be something big. It might be something small. It doesn't matter. The fact is it happened a while ago. It's in the past. And OCD is bringing it up as evidence to prove to you that you are, yes, a bad person. The trick is what OCD wants you to do with that thought. And so when we get intrusive thoughts, the difference between, worrying, am I a bad person, and legitimately being concerned, oh, I just did something that was wrong, is we have those thoughts in the moment. Oh, I feel like I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to go and talk to her. I'm going to go give this back, or I'm going to go do that. It happens in the moment. It happens when that's occurring. When it's OCD, your OCD is looking in the database of all the things everywhere. What age doesn't matter, what year doesn't matter, and it's going back and it's like, look at all this. Now what are you going to do with it? It's in the past. It happened a while ago. Or even if it happened a day ago or 3 days ago, a lot of times it's so tiny that no one would sweat the small stuff on that. They'd be like, okay, yeah, that happened a while ago. But OCD wants to hook you in. The compulsions are what grows the OCD. So the compulsions is the food for this thought. And so OCD might say, ooh, you should go tell someone, right? So maybe you confess this to a parent, a partner, a friend. When I was this age or last week I did this, right? And kind of what you're looking for is that relief of confessing it. And that's a compulsion. OCD's like, confess it and you'll feel better, right? And then it might say maybe contact the person or do something, fix it in some way. A lot of times it might say check. Let me check if they're talking about this. Let me check if this is an issue. It might say avoid. Ooh, let's avoid that video game because what if, it happens again? Or what if people are talking about it from 3 years ago? Or let me avoid this place or this school or this person or this job or whatever so that, in case something bad happens. You might check to see if anyone's found out about it. And it's often nonsensical because it happened so long ago or it was so inconsequential, so tiny that no one would be thinking about it. But when it's OCD, you don't get relief from all those behaviors or all that avoidance or all that checking or all that confessing. And that's the key that it's OCD, is there might be a tiny relief when you do it, but then it's back again, like an itch. You scratch it and you feel, oh, it feels so good. And then it itches even more. And that is the key component to OCD, is that the more you do these things to get the relief from the thought or feeling, the more you have to do. In reality, when I've done something that didn't feel good and then I go and I fix it, I feel better. And then I'm done with it. It's a done, right? With OCD, it's never done. There's always, I want more. It might make you debate in your head. Am I a good person? Am I a bad person? Do I gossip? Do I not gossip? Do I do this? Do I not do this? What kind of person am I, right? And that is actually a compulsion too. It's a mental compulsion. It hooks you in and it wants you to argue and debate whether you are that or you are not that. So how do you get unhooked? That's the answer to all of this, is how do I get unhooked from OCD? And OCD doesn't really want to unhook you, right? I always have these right by me because I use them a lot. Here's OCD, right? And it's a Chinese finger trap. You try to say that. And it's like, come on in, right? You gossiped about people. You're a bad person. Or you did this. No, it's serious. It is bad. And you're like, no, I am not. And then you get hooked in, you get sucked into that trap. And now the more you pull to argue with OCD, I'm not a bad person. I think you are. Go tell your parent, go tell your friend, go tell your partner, whatever it is. And you're stuck, you're trapped, right? But when you don't get sucked into the whole game, you recognize it as OCD. You say, you know what, that's an OCD thought again, right? There's something from my past. It hasn't happened currently. It's not happening right now. It's something from my past. And it's wanting me to confess it to someone, or it's wanting me to check, or it's wanting me to do something, or it's wanting me to avoid, right? I spot this. This is clearly an OCD trap. I'm not even going to scoop into it. I'm not even going to engage, because the minute I engage, I'm playing OCD's game. It's like a fishing hook. I can't make a fishing hook. It's like a fishing hook, right? And it's like waiting for you to take the bait so that you're hooked in, you're pulling at it, you're resisting, and now you're trapped. So the first step is recognizing that this is a trap. Oh, that's an OCD trap thought. I'm not going to be trapped, right? Now maybe I'm just going to let it move along its way. You gossiped in second grade. Okay, bye-bye, right? You did this really horrible thing. No, it's legitimately horrible. I know, I'm human. Okay, bye-bye. Right, so you can just let it pass like a cloud and not hook into it, not debate or argue or avoid or confess or whatever it wants you to do. You could just see it and say, oh, there's my OCD trap again. And then you can be like, I am that. I may or may not have lied. I may or may not be a gossiper, right? That's actually engaging with this, but you're pushing in, right? And so instead of debating and arguing or confessing or doing whatever and pulling out, you're actually pulling in. Yep, I am that, pulling in. The way that you get out of Chinese handcuffs is you pull in, right? You don't resist. You actually go with the flow, and then you get untrapped. So that's another technique that you could be like, yeah, I may or may not be a gossiper. I may or may not be a robber. I may or may not be the horrible thing that you're telling me I am, right? And so then you're really getting unhooked and you're actually pushing OCD away. So that's another method. So you can recognize the thought, watch it go past without engaging in it, or you can push it back by sarcastically agreeing with it. You can do exposures where you write on sticky notes, I'm a gossiper, or I might be a liar, or I may or may not be a robber. Everyone's going to have different thoughts about what is good or bad, and so that will differ. But the key is to do one of those things to not get hooked in. Well, I hope that you found this helpful. My dog's barking. I'm not going to edit it out because everything's imperfect. Don't forget to find the sparkle in everything you do, and I'll talk to you again next Thursday. Take care.